Wow, I had this information packed 3 minute, 12-second video, and I forgot to turn my microphone on. I am so sorry. I'm going to try to recreate that right now. Yesterday and the day before, we talked about insulin and how that works in your body. Today, we're going to talk about aging and type 2 diabetes, but not really. Type 2 diabetes is not the same as type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is when your body develops insulin resistance. Right, so we talked about how insulin works. Well, remember how I said most people at work. Think about your work day. Think about your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and how often you're sitting there every hour, 2 hours, 3 hours consuming a carbohydrate-filled food or sugar-filled coffee or a soda or anything. Every 2 or 3 hours, you're releasing insulin to store that stuff. So that's going to keep you in a chronic insulin producing mode, constantly keep you storing instead of burning. And what do we want to do? We want to burn some of that excess body fat, not just continue to store it. But you're not going to do that if insulin is in the picture, right? Even if you're an athlete, same thing. You might have weight loss, but your body is still working to consume those carbohydrates and distribute it where they're supposed to go. It's like a cycle. Say I have two cars, right? Before I get to two cars, that's your body working over and over again. If you're constantly trying to store that glucose as glycogen or fat cells, your cells are going to be like, yeah, no, we not, and you're going to require more and more and more insulin to do the same job as it used to do. All right, and that's how type 2 diabetes develops: insulin resistance. Aging. I have two cars. Say I have two cars. One of them is 5 years old and it has 50,000 miles on it. The other one is 5 years old and it has 300,000 miles on it. Which car is older? Right. The car that has 300,000 miles on it is way older because it's worked a lot more. It's driven a lot more. Our bodies are the same way. The more we put on it, the more foods we eat, the more exercise we do, the more activities, the older it gets, even if the amount of years we've been alive is the same number. That's how aging works. So when people talk about aging, there you have it. It's how many times your body has to do these processes that it's designed to do, but not at the rate we do them today. I don't think that all throughout human history, we didn't have the amount of food that's available to us today. Okay, we didn't have gas stations on every corner. We didn't have grocery stores on every corner. We didn't have refrigerators full of food or pantries full of food, so people just weren't eating as much. The prevalence of food was not as available. And now here in modern day America, we can pretty much eat all day long. And it's a pattern that I think many people get into, and it needs to be put in check, and it's really hard to do. So don't feel bad if that's you. Takes a lot. You can't out-exercise a bad diet, okay? It would take, some people maybe can, but that doesn't mean your body is not aging on the process, and it doesn't mean it's necessarily helpful for your internals long term. So anyway, all these things got to be done with care and thought, so that's just as I understand it. Have a great day.